It's low key, and I am. I say I am. It's the super facts, okay? So Carmelo Anthony's his bond or bail, whatever the fuck they want to call it, it went from $1 million to $250,000. Oh my god! So they didn't took $750,000 off of this kid's bond. Basically, it was saying that I think the Carmelo's family was saying that they didn't have access. They don't have access to the Give, Send, Go or any donation money because who knows how much money people are sending their family just via Cash App or PayPal or Venmo or whatever any of these, where you can send people money. Who knows how much money they've made where people just sending them cards of money, coming by their house dropping off cash. Let's have a real conversation. But as far as his gifts and go, they saying that he's around. I haven't looked at him myself, but the YouTube streets, okay, is saying that he's around $500,000. Now you gotta remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but this boy Dylan Roof, okay, let's just call it what it is. This kid Dylan Roof walked up in that black church, okay, and he was acting like it was a Quentin Tarantino movie. Let's have a real conversation, respectfully. And they said Dylan Roof raised like $4 million. So y'all can go fact check me on that. But it's from what I saw, they said Dylan Roof raised in donations about $4 million, and he was dead ass wrong. There was no defending what he did at all. So people is mad that Carmelo is getting $500,000, and it's like I don't get it. These same, this is call it what it is. White, racist, prejudice, uh, supremacist, supremacists, whatever the fuck. These people are fucking just walking hypocrisies, man. And it's disgusting. So basically, the family was arguing that they don't have $1 million or whatever, how much percentage you need of it, because they can't access the donations. So the judge apparently brought it down to $250,000 now. A lot of the internet, the internet is fucking curb stomping, right? The right wing is curb stomping Tim Pool right now to death. Okay, basically saying his career is over. They're saying that all his credibility is gone, and it's just so sad. It's so sad when you have an audience, you work your ass off to get an audience, and then instead of just being able to remain objective, and just tell the fucking truth, or at least if nothing else, wait for all the facts and evidence to come out, videotapes, whatever, you know, if you don't, be a fucking parrot for your subscribers, or you don't say what they want you to say, they turn around, they turn their back on you. It's a fucking cult. It's a fucking cult, man. That's it. That's it. Right. Same people that claim not to want an echo chamber. It's sad. It's sad. And everybody knows I don't like Tim Pool. But like I said, I listen to everybody. I listen to everybody. I listen to people on the left, on the right. So, it's very few people in between, pause. There's very few people that are that are truly objective, and they're just there to tell the truth. But I listen to everybody, hardcore left, hardcore right, whatever. Because you have to know how everybody is feeling. Like if this was a battleground or a battlefield, you need to know all your opponents, what they're thinking, the information that they have, and their perspectives and things like that. And that's the only way you can win when you're in a battle is with information. Let's have a real conversation. The only way you win a war is with information, you know? So So they're saying this dude is gonna come, most likely gonna come home, Karmelo. But what's gonna happen is, my prediction is, it's not gonna be for long. I think he will come home. They said he's gonna be on house arrest. But I think eventually, if this goes to trial, if he, whatever, I think it's gonna go to trial. I think because they're saying that, and where he's from, I can't remember the name of it, but they're saying it's less than 10% black people where he's from. There was also another video that I wish I had access to my computer that I could play, because it did give you a brief look into Carmelo's personality or his character. Um, because I'm very observant, and I study people's, I study people's character, right? The whole life, right? And in this video, it was a situation where it was Carmelo, and then I think his friend was holding a video camera filming a tailgate or something like that. And it was a bunch of like preppy it was a bunch of like preppy white kids or whatever. And they were all sitting in these like beach chairs or whatever, tailgate chairs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the folded ones, you just whatever. And something happened to where it was a kid that was standing next to Carmelo, and he said something to, I guess, the dude that was holding the camera, that was Carmelo's friend. I don't know what he said. I think he just said, I think he was like, stop recording, and he cursed at him or something like that. And then Carmelo stood up and was like, yo, you don't have to talk to him like that. He confronted him, and he was trying to correct him. He was like, you don't have to curse at him. You don't have to talk to him like that. You could talk, talk to me like that, or, but you don't have to talk to him like that. But it was a situation where, like, it was a moment where the other dude was like, okay, whatever, and he kind of like, it kind of died down. But then it felt as if, like, you would have to watch the video yourself, but for a moment it felt as if Carmelo didn't want to let the situation go. You know how some people, you'll be done, like, and then you'll be like, yo, it's done, it's over. But then the people keep going with the situation. You're like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So it felt like a situation like that. And then the other kid, I guess he got frustrated, and he was like, he just said, fuck you. So basically, I think like the adults finally walked over. Some adults walked over, and then they separated them or whatever. But it was just a small glimpse into, like, okay, I can see it's just little stuff like that, little observations like that into a person's, you know what I'm saying, psychological makeup. I'm the type of person, I don't like it when it's a confrontation or a potential confrontation. I don't talk. I'm either gonna punch you in the fucking face or I'm gonna walk away. But I don't need the satisfaction or whatever of feeling like I won an argument, or feeling like I'm one up on a person. No, like, somebody's gonna die here right now. One of us are gonna die, or I'm just gonna walk away. That's my satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing in between that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm crazy and shit, allegedly. So I just saw a glimpse. I was like, oh, this dude just seemed, in this particular moment, he seemed very, like, respectfully, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just very feminine, and he wanted to let the drama or the chaos of that moment linger. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's because we judge people off patterns, okay? And I'm the type of person, I'm hyper aware to patterns, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, when you see somebody act a certain way, it's only a short amount of time before they act the same way. If a person doesn't have, if they don't have the discipline to correct their own flaws or negative behaviors, they won't, because nobody else can do it for them. So I can see in that moment why, okay, so now we fast forward, and it's a situation where these two white kids, once again, another situation, it was a white kid in the first situation, now it's another white kid, and they're telling him, they're trying to, it's a confrontation, and he's not necessarily just immediately assessing the situation, assessing all the consequences, that could potentially happen, and then just making a split decision saying, you know what, I'm out, I'm leaving. So I can get a glimpse, not, you know, going crazy on this kid or nothing like that. No, I'm saying like, and that the situation that happened. I'm saying like, well, Austin was feminine too. Them kids was them. All of them kids was like just like sensitive. From what from my analysis, like all of them is just like sensitive. They said it was pouring raining, and it was he went up in the tent. Carmelo Anthony went up in the tent to get out of the rain. They said, the witnesses say he was in the tent on his phone, and they also said that Carmelo had a friend in the tent. And then, you know what I'm saying? So he had, like, even though they said he wasn't allowed to be there, it's like everybody's missing this context of, yo, when you outside and you walking and it start pouring raining, sometimes you just try to, like, you might dip into a store. You don't have no intentions of buying anything. You know how many times I used to walk dogs, right? And when I'd be walking these dogs and it would just start downpouring, and I'm like in like a city like environment. You know how many times I would dip into a store real quick, just to get out of the fucking rain, so I wouldn't be soaking, my phone wouldn't get soaked, the dog wouldn't get soaked. I'm not buying nothing from this store, and the dog not even supposed to be in this motherfucking store. But it was context. And people had enough sense to be like, to understand, to read the room. Let's have a real conversation, right? People had enough common sense to read the room. And that was a situation where I just feel like the whole Anthony and Austin situation, nigga, read the room. And I'm talking about the twins. Because from what the witness said, there was a black witness, and he said that he had daughters, correct me if I'm wrong, he had daughters that were in the tent as well. So from what I'm hearing is there were people inside this tent, you know what I'm saying? And he sounded like he was black. So I'm assuming that his daughters is black. You know what I'm saying? So from what I'm hearing is there was other black people in his tent, or whatever. Why did they go up to him? It's things that we'll never know about this case. You know what I'm saying? It's things that we'll never know that will add so much context. But I think the biggest one is, I think the rain played a huge part in it. I think the rain played a huge part in this story, and nobody, the majority of people that's talking about this story, they don't even bring that shit up. Like I said, I worked in environments where I was working outside all day, and then sometimes it would start pouring raining, and I would have to seek, some sort of fucking shelter. And it is what it is. And I never got like, I ain't never had nobody come up to me and kick me out of a fucking store or whatever. They understood, okay, it's downpouring right now. Just let this person I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. He said all them kids is weird as fuck. Yeah, it's a weird situation, bro. It was a weird situation, but you see, this country, man, in my honest opinion, I can't believe how racist this country still is, or prejudiced this country still is in 2025. All you got to do, man, this is one of these polarizing moments, right? If you look down the comment section of these videos, man, it's honestly disturbing. If I'm being completely honest with you, if you roll down the comment section, and it's like, I don't do the race thing. I do energy, right? So you could be a piece of shit. You could be a white piece of shit or a black piece of shit or whatever. So I just deal in energy. Energy is it never lies. The energy a person has on them never lies. The color of their skin, depending on how these people, you know what I'm saying, the vibration they on, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so scrolling down the comment section, and it's this new social engineering called black privilege. Okay, so they're saying that like the everything, we're in bizarre world, everything is being flipped now, and they're saying that that black people are where hold on, I got a picture of it. I had to go I had to go find the picture. So it's this new social engineering, and it's called black privilege, right? And basically, the white racist, prejudice, supremacist people, whatever, they're saying that black people are, we're offended by everything, we're ashamed of nothing, we're entitled to everything, and we contribute nothing. I'm like, damn, last time I checked, black people built America, but okay. Free labor. But okay. So but also I also have enough God damn, bro. I also have enough self-awareness to know that these people are just like keyboard cucks, like they're keyboard racists. They would never, like, if they, normally, like, if you say what you mean and what you say, if you say, if you say stuff like this and you really feel like this, you would have no problem, saying that to whoever, whatever group of people you feel like that in real life. But I just, you got to remember, this is one of the fucked up things about the internet, because people will type stuff like this and say these disgusting things, and but they won't do it, or they don't have the confidence or the courage, to vocalize themselves in real life. So it's like, you can't take stuff personal. What I'm trying to say is, if somebody don't have the courage to tell you how they supposedly feel about you in real life to your face and look you in the eye, then they must not really feel that way. You know what I mean? It's null and void. It's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck. And I go for any race or group of people or any stereotype or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody. You know what I mean? But these are like keyboard racists, but it's just, it is fucked up, because it's like, these are the same people. When you go to the grocery store, these are the people that's in the aisle with you. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? These are the people that's having those intrusive thoughts in their head, when you walking past them in the mall, or you go to the fucking you go get some Chinese food, or you go to the mechanic or whatever. These are the people that's all around you, and they'll smile in your face, but in their mind they hate you, and it's just crazy. But they don't have the courage to tell you that they hate you. And you won't find out until shit pop off. Unless it's like the apocalypse or like the purge outside, you would never know, because these people are fucking cowards. You know what I'm saying? These people are cowards. Let's keep it real. So there's this new thing called black privilege, where they're basically saying like, black people, we get away with everything because of color of our skin. Like, we're being put on a pedestal because of the color of our skin, and it's like, it's sad, because how many black people have been like, just so much like, so many black people have been like terrorized and shit in the country that they helped build. And it's like, let's just call it what it is. On the scoreboard, if there was a fucking racism scoreboard, like, come on, you really go, like, white people was up like 1,000,000 to 1. Right? White people was up like 1,000,000 to 1, and then they like sore win. Like, these white races are sore winners. Let's have a real conversation. They're sore winners. I'm like, bro, you up 999,000 on us. We can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Karmelo Anthony stabbed one white person, and they're like, oh, black people can get away with murder. I'm like, bro, Y'all did never mind. Let me stop, man. Let me stop, man. Let me stop, man. You know, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy, like Beatles, whatever. Shit. Interracial war. They want a civil. They want it so bad. It's like these the people that cultivate and manipulate this society and how we interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? Race relations and shit. How we depict each other, or we, you know what I mean? How we look at each other on a day-to-day basis. They're like, this is like edging for them. These evil eugenicist people and motherfucker, these lizard people and shit. This is like edging for them. They're like, they get so horny off of all of this. Look at all the negative energy they eat off when it comes to, like, events that involve race. And look at all the fucking money that they make. Look at all the fucking money that, GoFundMe and Give Send Go and all of these with Cash App, all of them. They all take a percentage of every fucking penny that people are just really trying to give to the families on both sides. So when they go to take that money out, or even when they send the money, everybody they taxing everybody. Is it's money to be made. Why is it still racism in 2025? Because it makes so much fucking money. Racism is so profitable. So much money in that shit, man. We living in hell, bro. Right? Kanye out here looking just acting a damn fool. Then you gotta ask yourself, why hasn't no black celebrities, once again, why haven't no black celebrities came out and supported Carmelo Anthony? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a single fucking black celebrity has donated anything to Carmelo Anthony. And why? Because they can't. If Jay-Z comes out and says, I'm gonna donate $100,000 to Carmelo Anthony, oh, there goes your liquor deal. Oh, there goes your NFL deal. Oh, there goes this, there goes that. Oh, suddenly Beyonce wants a divorce. You can't, man. And that's why we fucked up, because we grow up and our sheep ass fucking parents tell us to play the game. Our sheep ass zombie fucking parents, they tell us to play the game. And when you come into this matrix, if you know what I'm saying, some people just not designed to play the game. Some people are not designed to play the game. Some people gonna refuse to play the game. And I'm one of them. I'm not playing no fucking game. I'd rather die. Simple as that. I'd rather be dead. Because I'm not about to sit up here and go along with the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? When you play the game, when you go along with the bullshit, you basically a Nazi. Let's just call it what it is. And like I said, white people have been more kind to me my entire life that I've been on this planet. But black people have taught me more like life lessons and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take, you take the meat and you take the meat and throw away the bones, man. It's as simple as that, bro. And people got to stop being so fucking, the people that control this world know that the average person is ruled by their fucking emotions. They know that the average person don't even have enough discipline to fucking want to learn how to control their emotions. So they already know that. So they just sitting around and manipulating your ass all day, harvesting your energy and making you making you fight irrelevant wars. Let's have a real conversation, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic because when people come together When people raise themselves up out of that frequency, see everybody talking about, oh well, we gotta wake everybody up. No, no. The truth is right in our fucking face. The truth is already. They tell us the truth every fucking day. No, what has to happen is every single individual has to fucking go on their own neo journey and raise themselves out of that fucking vibration, and then that's how you change the fucking, that's how you defeat the matrix. You don't defeat the matrix by just a handful of people, a handful of people thinking they Morpheus and shit. You know what I mean? Everybody gotta be neo is what I'm trying to say. Can't be a handful of neos. Every single fucking person has to be the anomaly for us to break this bitch. That's my opinion. Right? I gotta be Neo. You gotta be Neo. That motherfucker over there behind the garbage can. Uh, right? Eating scraps. He gotta be Neo. The bitch selling pussy on OnlyFans. She gotta be Neo. Let's call it what it is. That fat black bitch that do security at the airport. She gotta be Neo. So we'll see what happens. And then Kelly said that he's gonna be on house arrest for his protection. Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen, man? Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen, man? That boy might go home and they might fucking set his house on fire, man. Not wishing that on him or nothing like that. But who the fuck knows, man? They might start attacking it. They already showed his whole family. They already what's that called? Doxed. They already showed his whole fucking family. People know what his family look like. It's sad, dude. It's sad, and that's why before you do certain things, man, you got to think about all of it. You got to think about all of this. Okay, if I go and stab this dude and he dies, my entire family or reputation is over forever. You know what I mean? You kill somebody nowadays, you might as well be dead too. You know? I remember when Kyle Rittenhouse, the whole Kyle Rittenhouse shit, it's like he did what he did, and then they tried to, bring him out, bring him on all of these podcasts and all of these things, but it's like, he can't, I don't think he can work a regular job. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't think Carmelo Anthony, certain people, you can't work a regular job. You know what I mean? After something like that happens. So that's the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Slow key, and I say I am. You know who I am. We'll see what happens, but I think that because he's gonna be judged by a jury of his peers, and it's such, I hate to say this, but it's less than 10% black people where he lives. It might be one or two black people on the jury. So because it's only going to be one or two black people on the jury, listen, I think he's going to be outnumbered. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think he's just going to simply be outnumbered. And I think he's going to end up getting like 20 to 30 years for manslaughter or murder or whatever. I think he's going to get like 25 to 30 years. And I think his life is fucked. And he'll get out of prison or whatever. He'll get out and it's like 40s or 50s. And his life is over. Because he made a bad decision. How this society is set up, it's a bad decision. In a real world, if anybody put their hands on you, in a real world, if somebody put their hands on you, you should be able to, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like, in my opinion, somebody put their hands on, that's you signed up for that. That's on you. The concert, whatever happens after that, that's on you. That's why we taught since we in kindergarten. Keep your hands to yourself. We're taught that since we're babies. Keep your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. In a completely different county. I don't see, because I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know. Are they even allowed to do that? Are they allowed to do that? Maybe the whatever, I guess the attorneys or prosecutors have to agree on that or something like that. But I think he's going to be outnumbered, and I think they're going to fuck him up. You know, so if I was him, I'd run. If I was him, I'm gonna give my mom a kiss. I'm gonna give my dad a kiss. Whatever other siblings he got. Peace out. I'm out of here, gang. I'm going, nigga. You understand me? If Karmelo was smart, okay, he find out wherever the fuck Tupac is hiding out at, and he would, you know what I'm saying? He'd be like, I'm your new roommate, nigga. That's the best bet. You know, because you gotta understand, like, I'd rather be kill me in cold blood. Kill me in cold blood instead of being judged by a jury of NPCs. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. The average person is a fucking emotional idiot. An emotional wreck. The average person is a fucking retard. Can we have a real conversation? Can we just be real with each other? I'm not better than nobody walking this planet. But if I'm making an observation, the average person is a fucking retard. The average person won't even, you go get some fucking, average person, you go to fucking Wendy's and get some chicken nuggets. They don't even put the damn sauce in the bag. Let's have a real conversation. Let's have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? There'll be people there. There'll be some jurors there. They don't even know who the hell is on. What the hell is going on? There'll be some jurors in there that's just like, man, I need a place to stay, and I need a meal. I just came because I needed a place to stay, and I needed a hot meal. Let's have a real conversation. You know? And you think like people act like jurors are these, like, you know, supreme, intelligent, common sense having. They're regular. The nigga at the bus stop is gonna be called in to judge what happens to this kid's life, right? The same people that's in the comment section is gonna be called in. The people in the comment section is gonna be called in to be a juror. Like, come on, man. He's cooked. So if I was him, I'm give my dad a kiss, give my mom a kiss. I'm out of here. Right. The smart people get out of jury duty. The smart people don't have time for jury duty. You're gonna have a motherfucker that work at the DMV be one of his jurors. Let's have a real conversation. And people that work at the DMV are literally spawns of Satan himself. Those are the most depressing ass people in the fucking world, man. You sit on your ass all day and take pictures of people. You don't do shit. And you got the nerve to have an attitude. It's a punch you right in the damn face, bitch. Oh. He said, I lied to the judge and said I need to go to work. Smart people get out of jury duty. The fuck? Did everything I could. I remember I got called for jury duty. I was like, I got diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? I called my mom and I told my mom to call them people and tell them I had diarrhea and shit. And guess what? They was like, well, nah, we can't have his shitty booty all up in here, man. We can't have his shitty booty all up in the courthouse, man. So, all right. I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind going through that experience once in my life to see what it's like, to see the deliberating process. But I already know what it's about, man. You know, and you got to remember the average person is a monkey see, monkey do ass person. The average person, they don't stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? The average person they just go along to get along. You know, so yeah. If I was Carmelo, I'm hopping on a Greyhound. I'm going straight to Mexico. I'm going to find me a plug and I'm going to be the Black El Chapo. Let's have a real conversation. Okay? I'm out of here. I'm going. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. You understand? I'm joining the cartel. Fuck out of here. Instead of just waiting around, you just gonna wait around to get found guilty? You just gonna sit on your hands and just wait around to get found guilty? The kid is going to fucking prison, dog. He's gonna get up to fucking 30 years in prison, bro. He not gonna get out of prison till he in his 40s or his 50s. I will be shocked. I will fall down to my knees if they don't give him any jail time. I'll be like, what? Shraggy? I will be fucking, man, listen. If Carmelo Anthony is OJ Part 2, I swear to God. So yeah, there's that, man. That's what's going on with that. This is still, for some reason, I guess this is just in the year 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It's still gonna be about race, and then it's just weird, and then it's gonna be niggas still gonna be arguing about race when the transhumanist shit is popping. It's just it's so low vibrational, man. It's so low vibrational because at the end of the day, a person's spirit is no pigment, right? Now some people say you gotta, your aura got a color and shit like that, but fuck all of that. Your spirit ain't got no color. Your spirit is transparent, motherfucker. Your spirit is transparent. Let's have a real conversation. But once again, it's just layers. You got the ego and all of these other disgusting, nasty layers. You know what I'm saying? Between the physical, what you see, what you look at when you see somebody, and their spirit, and it's just all these nasty, icky layers of just bullshit. You know what I mean? And unless that person, like an onion, unless that person unwraps it for themselves, they're just gonna be a disgusting human being. Let's have a real conversation. She's like, Kyle got off. If this guy doesn't, people would lose their minds. What I'm tripping on the most is they said Dylan Roof got $4 million in donations. I gotta go back and fact check this. But how the fuck does a human being walk up in a church, nigga, not an Applebee's, not the strip club, not the veterinarian, not the nail salon, not the DMV. He walked up in the church and let that thing. What? He walked up in a church and he just let that thing go. He thought he was Tony Montana. Dylan Roof thought he was Tony Montana at the end of the movie. And then the cops take him to Burger King. He had it his way. And then he looked up. The nigga checked his GoFundMe account from the cell, and he had $4 million in donations. What? So I'm like, in what world? In what world does anybody donate to somebody? Black, white, whatever. In what world does anybody donate millions of dollars? It had to be, that had to be some like, it couldn't have been regular people donating all that money. Some other shit. I just got a delivery for a nigga named Anthony. What are the odds of that? The Matrix is matrixing. But very, 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 very just we live in a very strange fucking world, society, simulation. And it's very rare that, they don't even allow us to find balance. You know what I'm saying? They don't even allow us to find balance out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like all of our days, we're just constantly in this state of imbalance. We're constantly in this state of having to be around fucking people that are nothing like us. We're fucking separated as fuck. Good people, light beings, light workers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, chosen ones, whatever. We're separated as fuck. And it's just like, and it's just like, what's the point? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And then it's just like this stupid feeling of like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm good. I'm 33 years old. I feel like I've lived a life, as far as just like, I might not have seen everything, I might, I might not have all the life experience of shit like that. But as far as like feeling, like, as far as like, my soul just feels so overwhelmed with how much I've felt in just 33 years, where I'm just like, I'm good. You know what I mean? All the negative energy that I've had to like absorb in just 33 years on this planet, my soul is like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good to go ahead and get up out of here. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Even though I haven't seen it all, my soul is just like, we felt enough. I haven't seen it all, but I felt enough. No diddy. That's the only way I can describe it. Because you look ahead and it's like, what shit ain't gonna magically just fucking change, man. You look up and it's just shit just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? And people just keep getting softer and softer and softer and softer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But they're definitely the lizards that be, they definitely harvested a lot of energy. They ate really good off of this particular story. And the truth is, like I said, this kid is unfortunately, whatever. Unfortunately for him, he's gonna be going to jail. I do not see him getting off. I don't care what nobody say. I don't see this kid. I don't see them, saying that, it was just fully self-defense. And then you got these people out here talking about, oh, it was him saying, punch me and see what happens, right? They're saying that, oh, it's provoking or whatever, provocation and shit. You know, him saying touch me or punch me and see what happens. Where I'm from, that's called a warning. Where I'm from, that's called, you know, get the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. Where I'm from and where a lot of people I know is from. When you tell somebody, like, you know, it's like if he was gonna stab him, if he wanted to stab him, he could have stabbed him before he said anything. That's what I don't understand. What people don't understand. Like if he wanted to stab the kid, he could have just stabbed him as soon as he told him to leave. He told him 2 times, you know what I'm saying? Touch me and see what happens. And then the kid, you know, and then he was like, then he grabbed his bag, and then he said, punch me and see what happens. Or watch what happens. And then he stabbed him. So he gave you an out. I'm not saying what he did was right, but he gave the other dude was the aggressor, and he gave the aggressor grace. Let's have a real conversation. He gave the aggressor grace twice. And the aggressor said, fuck your grace. And he fucked around and found out. And it's as simple as that, man. It's low key, and I say I am. You know who I am. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man.